Hello there, everybody. Hello. I know it's been a while since
Little bit.
we have been here, but we're here, okay? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chatting with Doug. Doug is here. I was going to tell you this before, and then I forgot before stream, Doug, but I was frantically explaining to people yesterday that you were not there because of fatigue, but just because you didn't have a Switch and that they
Yeah,
shouldn't
that's
be
true.
continued to be worried about you.
That
You
is,
just don't have a Switch. You stole Brad's Switch for 3 years. No, just
yeah.
kidding.
No, I did. He pretty much was just like, I'm not gonna use it. Now he has a kid. He's like, I kind of want that back. I'm like, that's fair.
That's fair. That's fair. Also, we are in a golden Kappa hype train. Now,
What's
if you
that?
don't know what a golden Kappa hype train is, I think we've only had one other one of these on this channel. It is a randomly chosen throughout all the channels of Twitch. Occasionally you get one of these special trains. If you participate in any way in the hype train, if you give spits or subs or whatever, you get access to that special golden Kappa emote for 24 hours that you can use anywhere across Twitch. People like to use it as like a little flex. So if you want that golden Kappa emote for 24 hours, you gotta participate in this hype train, which we're at
You're
a level
already,
4.
yeah, I was gonna
Thank
say, you're already doing pretty
you.
good on that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you all so much. So you get it's yeah, bits or subs or whatever will give you the golden Kappa if you want to participate in that. But hello. I just wanted to make sure we got that before the hype train dissipated, okay?
Yes. The
Um
Golden Kappa train. Thank you.
yes, the golden Kappa hype train. Yes,
Mm.
yes,
Or as
yes.
somebody said, a gold. Yeah.
Yes, Waveflow said that. um Yes, it's been a couple weeks. I know we are raring to go with some of these questions. I see people have been holding out on some of these questions for a couple of weeks now. We see that. We appreciate you. So let's go over the rules so that we can get to the questions here. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometime we have time for highlighted questions, but you want to save your highlighting until the end of stream because if you do it now, I physically cannot scroll up and see it. Also, highlighting a question does not guarantee that we're going to see it or read it. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out, or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. With bit messages, we do get behind. It is very, very rare that we actually miss a bit question. So if you think that your question has been missed, have some patience. Sometimes we can get up to an hour behind and there's no need to repeat the bit question. Gosh, I don't know why I said it so weird. We will get to it. I have a list. It's extremely rare that we actually miss it. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read and the more likely it is that we're going to lose the point and we do not have time to repeat it. Short and to the point is better. That also applies to parts. Please, if necessary, do not surpass more than 3 parts. Again, we just kind of lose the point and then it's a little like, I don't know. Also, a fairly new one that I think I'm just going to toss in here that we should mention more often. Your bit messages are like one question, maybe 2 if we're being generous here, but the past couple of times we've gotten some of these that are like, they want rapid fire 4 or 5 questions answered. Please don't do that. Please don't do that because it's, again, same kind of thing. Like we're just trying to get to as many people's questions as fairly as possible. And it feels like if you have 5 questions, 5 bit messages is more appropriate for that. What else? Oh, no spoilers. I see some people already talking about the Marvels in chat. Please, no spoilers, okay? Not everyone has had a chance to see the Marvels, and not everyone was spoiled by the internet about what their mid and end credit sequence is,
I was.
okay?
I won't say it, but I was.
I was too, but...
You know what? Because I had a feeling I knew what it was. That's why because I usually avoid those, but I'm like, I think I know what this is. I clicked on, I was right. And, yeah, so that was kind of neat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now I
yeah.
don't need to see the movie. No,
Yeah.
I'll see it for Disney December.
Also, maybe make sure that someone else has not asked the question that you already asked. You're not going to get in trouble for that. We just feel bad if you're like the fifth person to ask Doug what the next NC is. We have to just kind of throw away your answer. You could have spent those bits on other things. So maybe just check. We just feel bad. That's all. I think that's it.
I think we good.
Amazing. We're on level 5 of this Golden Kappa hype train.
Damn, okay.
Heck yeah, let's go.
Thank you all so much.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, how y'all doing?
Better. I'm so sorry, everybody. It really, I think after the convention, it just knocked me out for like 5 days, and again, it just threw off my schedule and everything. And I hate missing these streams, so I am so sorry. But yeah, hope this week's already doing better since like Sunday night. I feel like I've been progressively doing better and better. So thank you so much. Hopefully, this means Friday should be a go for Spider-Man.
Oi Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 trailer thoughts. P.S. More happy Captain Marvel is failing or more sad Miss Marvel is failing?
More sad Miss Marvel is, but I like Miss Marvel. For as much as I didn't get into Captain Marvel, I didn't hate, the original. And I was very indifferent to Rambo from WandaVision, so I have no thoughts about that. But I really like Miss Marvel. I like that show. I like that character. I still haven't seen the movie, so like I said, I gotta check that out. And what's the first half of that? I'm sorry. Ghostbusters Afterlife 2. I thought it looked a little lame, just like cold. Come on, like Mr. Freeze, that's ridiculous. But the dialogue in describing it and like the connection between cold and death, I was like, that wasn't too bad. So maybe they have some idea that will be really cool that I'm not aware of.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of the trailer for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire?
See the last one. It doesn't look like anything that great, but I'm hoping there's more to it. I think they're kind of hinting that there's more to it, so hopefully that's correct.
Happy birthday, Gizmo Gremlin.
Happy birthday.
Noff Noff, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Doug. Today marks the 45th anniversary of the Ralph Bakshi version of the Lord of the Rings film.
Whoa, crazy. Oh my God. That's crazy. That was my introduction to Lord of the Rings, was that movie. So yeah, despite its problems, I can't be too mad at, because that is what literally got me into, the books and Tolkien and all that stuff.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you watched the latest Bob's Burgers episode where Mr. Fischoeder takes Bob to the secret island? If so, what did you think? I personally liked how it felt a bit edgier than usual.
No, I saw the one before that. It wasn't, when we were going to Hulu, it wasn't up yet, which we thought was a little weird. So, yeah, maybe it's up now. But yeah, I want to see that because obviously I love Bob's Burgers. It's hard to talk with this thing, too. I've been messing up my words so much more than usual.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, enjoyed your review of The Little Mermaid 2023. I watched the movie with my youngest brother for the first time, and he really liked it for the most part. He didn't, however, like that Chef Louis wasn't in it, and like many others, he was not a fan of the Scuttlebutt.
Oh, yeah, the Scuttlebutt song. I like that's the one thing where it's like even people that like the movie, they're like, but that Scuttlebutt song, that was pretty stupid.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I recently watched the producer's remake. As someone who never saw the Broadway version, I almost liked it, but I didn't think it quite recaptured the freshness or hilarity of the original. What are your thoughts?
I agree, and I never saw the Broadway one. And it's funny, I had a chance to see it for, I think, $20 when it was in previews. I mean, just, this is like I was a poor college student. I had to see a Broadway show for like a Broadway or a musicals appreciation class. But then I saw, or a theater class, and then I saw a David Mamet play that was like $10 cheaper at Steppenwolf or whatever. So I was just like, oh, I'll just go see that. It's cheaper. And I missed out on like probably the most popular musical in the past like several decades. So that was pretty dumb of me. But yeah, I like you can get a feeling for what the show is like by seeing the movie, like the way they hold up the mirror when they're doing the dance. It's like, oh, that's how they did that. But yeah, I think it's clear the original's better.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Twitch Queen. Hello, Mrs. Dougfire. How you folks doing?
Good.
Good. At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Marvels, especially the mid-credit scene. I'm sorry, we can't go into spoilers.
I won't go into spoilers. I will say I'm excited. You know me. I mean, I'd be excited for that. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going to see it for Disney December. I did want to see it, but again, the fatigue, the shingles, and everything got in the way. So yeah, I just call it fatigue now because there's no like shingles pain or anything. So I just say the fatigue. But yeah, no, sadly I couldn't get to it, but I will. I'll do a Disney December on it.
Oyram, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, how do you feel about Patton Oswalt being in the new Ghostbusters film after he talked smack about your friend James Rolfe's video, Ghostbusters 2016? No review, I refuse.
Um, I have to go by how he is as a performer and a comedian and a stand-up and stuff like that, because that's what he's in this movie for that kind of stuff, and he's fine when he does that stuff. I don't think he's anything great, but he's totally fine. He does strike me as someone I probably like if I met him in real life. I don't know if we would get along, but that's not what he owes me. He owes me a good performance, good comedy, and stuff like that. And yeah, whenever I see him, he either is okay or like can get a little on my nerves, but I've never seen him like just awful in something. So no part of me is necessarily like, angry that he's in it or anything.
Chat, we look so fancy. Look at these golden kappas in chat. Okay. Yeah, golden kappa hype train. Let's go.
What are they? What is they look like Crispin Glover or something.
Kappa is a global emote on Twitch that generally signifies someone is joking or not being serious. So it is a golden version of that emote.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Keenan Ivory Wayans' original Scary Movie?
It changes. When it came out, I wanted to like it more, but I didn't like it that much. But I like Keenan Ivory Wayans. I like In Living Color and everything. And as time passes, I go back and forth between like, yeah, I kind of like just how kind of raw, dumb, and crude this is. But then other times I'm like, yeah, no, that's just raw, dumb, and crude. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing really to it. So I go back and forth whenever I see it. I never hated it, but I never loved it either. I'm always in that middle of like, this is, almost worth recommending, but man, it's just so dumb and so obvious sometimes. So I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence about it.
Hana Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. Is it true? Did you hit Lisa? Lisa said you hit her, and Denny and Chris R say so too. I need you to answer before Mark comes in.
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, chat.
Beautiful, thank you. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Well, I guess we now have a trifecta of canceled WB films with Batgirls, Scooby Holiday Hunt, and just recently Coyote vs. Acme. To Warner Bros., I quote Mabel from Only Murders, have you all had strokes or have I?
What's so weird is that then you see like an ad for that Merry Batman special or that Urkel Saves Christmas anime. I'm like, wait, these get a pass? Like, what the hell kind of thing? But I guess they allowed it to be shopped around to other companies, the Coyote one, which is weird because that's like their character. Right. And the movies are made. So it's so bizarre. And that is the one where I'm just like, I kept thinking that was a joke movie. Like, they can't actually be making this movie. Yeah, but apparently they did. So now I'm like crazy curious to see it. I wish they would allow that for Batgirl too, because I'd love to see, what they were going to do with that.
Some interesting news, an update on the news on that, though, that I saw today is that a congressman is actually thinking of bringing it forth as an issue, that WB has been doing this. And they said, as they likened it, which completely makes sense, it's like burning the house down to get the insurance money for arson.
I mean, I didn't know you could do that, like bring it to Congress and stuff.
So
I mean,
they might there might be more legal issues for them because they've been doing this so frequently just to get tax write-offs.
You'd have to really be able to prove it, which I mean, it's not impossible if you show like where the money would go, if you show like kind of their dire financial issues and stuff. So I mean, maybe I'd be curious to see where that goes.
Crimson Volps, thank you for the 100 bits. Any old versus new episodes in the works? Would love to hear your thoughts on Hitchhiker's Guide, the show and or the film.
No, just because they take too long now, and I'm older. It takes time. I always say if I was just writing them or acting in them or directing them or editing them, like maybe I could do it, but I'm doing all of that. So yeah, no, sadly, it just takes a little bit too much time.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. For this year commercial special, I would really love to see you talk about this child abuse PSA from the UK, which has a live action parent and a cartoon child. To find it on YouTube, type in NSPCC Real Children Don't Bounce Back.
We saw that. We saw it years ago. It was just too, it was a little too much. We were just like, I don't think we can get any laughs out of this. Like, it's not so far exaggerated that it's like, oh, haha, isn't that like so shocking? Whatever. Like, the one with the car like flipping over and crushing like a whole class of kids, that was so over the top and ridiculous. You can get a laugh out of it, but yeah, that one I'm like, that's just a little too real. You know what I mean? Every once in a while we see one where we're just like, I can't get a laugh out of that. Can you? Nope. All right, we're not doing it.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 20-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it. And they just say, hello.
Hello.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Robert Altman's final film, A Prairie Home Companion?
I liked that show, that Garrison Keillor show, so I was kind of excited for it. I thought Robert Altman was a perfect choice. I thought it was really dull. Yeah, I really thought that would be a match made in heaven, and yeah, it just didn't do anything for me. And I know to some extent it's supposed to be very, very calm, very NPR, the kind of monotone voices, and I get that, but yeah, it did its job a little too well. I don't know. I feel like I've listened to Garrison Keillor and always was interested in what he was saying, and I was not interested in what anyone was saying in that film.
Porcupines Are God, thank you for the 100 bits. I had such a fun time at the live panel. I just want that one person to point out why all our childhood icons are actually terrible people, /bears, / anything else they are.
It was funny because when she brought that up, I was kind of like I love Winnie the Pooh, but I was like, I mean, she has a fair point.
Oi Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, did you watch the deleted scenes for Mrs. Doubtfire? Some say there are some real gems in those.
I've seen one or two. I don't know if I've seen them all, but yeah, no, what I saw was pretty fun. Well, God, how much like deleted material must there be of Robin Williams? Like in general, there must be like hours and hours upon stuff.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Something I'm surprised you didn't mention about the 2023 remake that I thought was a nice upgrade was the score of the movie, especially during scenes like the shipwreck and the final battle against Kaiju Ursula. It really elevates them to match the epic feel a summer blockbuster should have going for it.
I don't remember the music being bad. I guess I don't remember it standing out too much, but maybe I was just distracted by everything else, by the blandness of everything else. So I believe you. I'm sure it's fine, but yeah, it didn't really jump out at me.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. Other commercials I highly recommend you talk about in this year's commercial special are those OnStar commercials with Batman in them and those 1950s commercials for Hot Point dishwasher, which features a young Mary Tyler Moore as the character Happy Hot Point.
I've never heard of that. Hot Point dishwasher. That one I haven't seen. Well, so I literally just got done editing the episode, so it's not gonna make it this year, but I'll look into that. And then the OnStar one's a little too similar to the Diet Coke one we did with Batman, so yeah, probably not that one. But I'll look into that Mary Tyler Moore one.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. What did you think of the Hatbox Ghost design and how he was utilized in the new Haunted Mansion movie?
It's pretty lame. I thought he looked like an unfinished Grinch. It just looked lame, and it's Jared Leto. Why? I mean, it's like anyone could do that voice or that performance or whatever. I guess if he was really there, who cares? It's clearly just a CG, Pixar puppet, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Terrifier 3 teaser?
I saw that ahead of time. You posted that. I went, what? There's a teaser? And so I haven't seen it yet. I just saw the little thumbnail of him as Santa. I'm like, it's a Christmas movie. I'm so excited.
Hell of a Bluey, thank you for the 100 bits. So you refuse to do Ratchet and Clank 2017 Power Rangers and Let There Be Carnage?
Yes. Damn it.
Great. Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. In your NC review of the Pee Wee Herman movies, there was one bit of special information about the director of Big Top Pee Wee, Randall Kleiser? Sorry. Also directed the iconic movie musical Grease. I was very shocked that you did not address that.
I just had to say, you know what it is? I say he directed movies I liked, And I kind of thought about it. I'm like, I don't like Grease, so I didn't include it. But I know like everyone else does, so it's one of those things where I sort of leave it open. It's like, well, do I like that movie? Is it one of the movies like because most people do, they can do research and say, oh, he did great. Okay, so this guy does stuff I like, but I don't hate it. That's just not my. It's not my style. It's not my time period. That's not my. It just it. I find it annoying. Happy Days isn't my thing either. I just never quite got into the nostalgia of that time period.
Oiram, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Mindy Kaling and Bill Hader not returning to Inside Out 2? Also, thoughts on Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter as Anxiety?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's who that was. I didn't know they weren't returning. I mean, they were fine in the movie. I don't think it'll fall without them. You know what I mean? I mean, they really were just side characters. I don't know. That trailer was pretty much doing pretty much exactly what I wanted to see them do with that idea, with a sequel to Inside Out. So yeah, I'm excited for it. It's one of the few Disney that and the little spoiler at the end of Marvels are the two things I'm really excited about coming from Disney.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Mrs. Dougfire and Heather.
Oh, hello, dear.
Oiram, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, if you review Disney's Hercules, it would be a travesty, nay, a crime, if you did not make it a crossover with Oni Plays.
We were talking about at some point, like at the very least, if we don't do that, reenacting the animation of the why does it look like Vegas thing, like just do a shot for shot, just with us in live action doing all of that, like, looking at, the Vegas, I don't get it, with the little tear and everything, talking like a therapist and stuff. So if we don't, do a crossover, I think at the very least I would have to reenact that, because I mean, you can't do that movie without referencing that.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. I remember one of the NC behind the scenes videos from a few years ago had someone with the last name Levesque. Who is that?
Oh, he was a guy that we're still friends with him too. He donated to Kickstarter a long time ago, and we kept in contact, and we see him like,
he just came into
every
town.
year. Yeah, we just saw him. He might even come up again. He was talking about visiting and stuff like that. He's just a real sweet dude. So yeah, no, we really enjoy him.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Today's my 22nd birthday. I'm having the best time right now in just Spider-Man 2 on the PS5, and I'm definitely going to have so much fun for days on end.
Oh, it's a day of twos. Congrats. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Love that for you. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. How are Doe and Chester planning on spending Thanksgiving?
Oh, with the ceremonial eating of the turkey that is really a box. We work very hard on cutting it up, and, well, that's about it, but it tastes delicious.
Oh, yeah, it's extra delicious if we can find one that a cat pissed on.
Yeah. We need the gravy.
Noah Zitter, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you watched the 90s Goosebumps episode, Werewolf of Fever Swamp? I know you didn't find the show the least bit scary, but that episode terrified me as a child.
Not yet. I did write that down so I wouldn't forget, but you know what? I am enjoying the new Goosebumps, the kind of miniseries they did, or they're still doing. There's a few episodes left, and yeah, they're kind of doing like what they do with like House of the Haunted Hill and like Fall of the House of Usher and stuff. They're taking like the ideas of Goosebumps and the themes, and they're kind of throwing it all into one story, one miniseries, and it's weirdly working very well. It's the first time I've seen something that's meant kind of for not the first, but for kids and teens, and it's legit. I think it would legit be scary for them. It reminded me of that Scary Stories movie that came out. It's like I like when they really actually legit try to scare kids, and I feel like that's what this is doing, and I'm enjoying it.
Oiram, thank you for the 100 bits. On January 27th, 2009, you survived the 11th level of Bloopity Hell. This month, will you be able to survive the potential 12th level of hell?
I'm not gonna lie, they'd have to try really hard to muck that up, because I feel like they do have the nostalgia and the awareness that this is pretty silly and lame, and having them come back years later all grown up and stuff like that. I think they're there to have a good time. Everyone that's going to see it is going to be there to have a good time. Like, I feel like even if it sucks, it'll be good. You know what I mean? Because of what it's based on. So I don't know. They'd have to try really, really hard to make it bad, honestly. Because I don't know. I feel like even if it's not good, it'll still be enjoyable, if that makes sense.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite pizza topping?
Um,
Hi, Chaplin.
I don't know. I gotta think about that. What do you think, Chaplin? What's your favorite? Tongue, yes. Tongue on nose is a wonderful pizza topping. Probably just sausage. I'm pretty boring. Sausage and extra cheese.
Ooh, very nice. Author, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 1 of 2. Was watching some interesting videos about the difference between mermaids and sirens because people continue to say they're one and the same when they're not. The former are fish women and the latter are bird women. But amongst other major differences, one mentioned stuck with me stronger, than others. To be continued.
Okay.
Abnormal Gamer, thank you for the 100 bits. Been a while, Doug and Heather. How you guys doing? Also, Doug, since you reviewed Mrs. Doubtfire, you should watch a video called Doubtfire made by YouTube channel Pogo.
Okay. I'll try to check that out. And doing better compared to last week. So thank you so much.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 2 of 2. In all portrayals, sirens are exclusively malicious, while mermaids are neither inherently good or evil. Some portrayals are treacherous monsters, while others are benevolent creatures providing comfort and guidance to lost sailors, or even, of course, falling in love with them.
Yeah, the siren mermaid mix thing is more of a recent thing, I feel like, because it's something where it's like, okay, that makes sense because they're both like kind of in the middle of the water and they tempt, sailors and stuff like that. But yeah, I never quite saw them as the same. I didn't know sirens were like bird women, though. That's something I didn't know. I thought it was kind of like almost abstract what they were. They were just beautiful women and something strange or odd about, something monstrous about them, but they can tempt you and make you see things, obviously, with their siren song.
Oi, Ram, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I saw you defend the Snow White prince, but didn't you once side with those against him? I swear you made a joke once where you indirectly compared him to Pepe Le Pew. Something about those guys would say you're moving too fast.
I may have, there's times where I just go for the joke. That's why I feel like with a lot of movie critics too, and this is why I like utilizing humor in what I do. Don't ever take it too seriously. You know what I mean? Like, who are we? We're people talking about art. We're not people that declare it good or declare it bad. We will stop all this art from coming out. We're not politicians. We're not anything like that. We're people that like talking about things that we enjoy and even things we don't enjoy. It should never be taken that seriously.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Be Cool 2005? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I remember being all right. I remember The Rock being good. That's when like The Rock was just starting to get into acting, and there was kind of this excitement, like, okay, like I think this guy's he's gonna be around. This is really gonna be like a star. Like, you can kind of tell. He just had a good attitude and energy to him. But the movie's all right. I don't remember a ton about it, but I remember a few good moments.
Elite, thank you for that 15-month subscription. Welcome back. Hello, Mrs. Dougfire and Heather. I hope both of you are doing well. I just wanted to say tomorrow is my birthday. Happy early birthday.
There's so many November birthdays, mine included. And I always say, I'm always shocked. Somewhere a study came out that November is not the month that has the most birthdays. And I was astonished by that because I feel like I know so many people have birthdays in November. And it's 9 months away from Valentine's Day. That was my theory.
That's what it is. Sorry, there's more to the message. Sick or not, sorry. You all go above and beyond. No, you're totally fine. To gift us amazing content. Oh, and because I'm avoiding Spider-Man 2 spoilers, happy early birthday to you, Doug. I was going to gift you a back credit card, but the mail won't accept it. Thanks again for everything. You guys rock.
Yes, I have a special deal with my mail carrier to not ever allow that. Yes.
Porcupines Are God, thank you for the 100 bits. I understand the DreamWorks didn't do so well with their last film, but I wasn't expecting a project involving Werner Herzog and Charlie Kaufman.
Oh, that's right. That's the next one. Yeah, I think all I saw was like a poster or something like that. I don't know. The last time Charlie Kaufman did animation, it was interesting. It was pretty surreal. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what he does with like DreamWorks animation. I'm down for it.
Pet Projects, thank you for the 100 bits. Last week I got to meet Greg Sestero at a screening for The Room. I asked him about being an extra in Patch Adams. He talked about how Robin Williams was very nice to him. However, Greg wasn't familiar with Philip Seymour Hoffman and thought he was just another extra. Hoffman was pissed at that and refused to speak to Greg for the rest of filming.
That's pretty funny.
That's a good story. Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. I was really bummed out that you didn't your thoughts on over the top performance of Ursula's human ego Vanessa in your NC review of The Little Mermaid remake last week.
And there was just so much to talk about already. I mean, like when we watched it again, it's weird. The first time I saw it, I remember her not leaving much of an impact, and then when I saw it with Rob, we were kind of like, "Oh, she's a little funny," kind of thing. Like, so I don't know. I guess there's my thoughts on her.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you watch Werewolf by Night in color? Was it as pointless as it sounds?
I started it a little bit just to see how they did it, and it did look like they kind of colored over the black and white, which I thought was very clever. And it is pointless, but that's also kind of the point of it. You know what I mean? Because they
Yeah.
did start to do that for a while. I don't know. I thought, in a weird way, the pointlessness of it was very clever.
Mumra, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite extreme sports movie from the 80s and 90s and why? Rad, Thrashin', Gleamin' the Cube, BMX Bandits, or Airborne?
Probably Airborne. That was just so bizarrely bad. It was pretty enjoyable. And actually, the skating at the end was really good.
Diff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, I don't think I'll be joining this week's chat. I just left the gym. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I don't have my scripted questions in hand. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
well, see
Enjoy
you
your
then.
evening. Hell of a Bluey, thank you for the 100 bits. So you won't review the first Sonic film till after the third is released and Way of Water till it's a year old?
Yeah. Way of Water, it's almost like, what am I gonna say? It's just gonna be the same thing as the first one. I just feel like I'm not gonna have much to say about it. Because people have already lost interest. That's always what happens with the movies. They come out, be like, oh my god, the most amazing. So what else is on? And like they just completely forget about it. You can see why it's not a good story. But I still stand by the technology in that movie. It was truly mind-blowing. That is the one thing where I'm like, okay, at least we finally got that technology I feel like was missing from the first one. Because the first one looked expensive, but it wasn't mind-blowing, where this one it truly was astonishing to see.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, would you do an NC for the animated film Everyone's Hero? I think you could get some decent jokes out of it.
Everyone's Hero.
Yes, it's an animated film.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever heard. Okay, I've seen the cover of this a lot. I think I saw the end of this movie once.
Interesting.
This looks like one of those, those like fake Pixar posters that AI was making. This looks like one of those. Just a kid holding this lady bat that's alive, going, "Wah!" It just looks like a fake something or other. Maybe I'll look it up. I don't know. If it has like a following or something and people are like, we have to know what you think, maybe I will.
Smash Ultra, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the latest episode of Death Battle? Because I just declared it the best episode ever.
No, I will try to check it out.
Waveflow, thank you for the 100 bits. Gold.
A gold!
Indeed. PSNBD, thank you for the 100 bits. Golden Kappa hype. That's right. Some of you have that golden emote right now. Let's go. Spooky Elephant, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm aware story-wise, Ants is better, but when given the choice, I'll always choose A Bug's Life. It's just way more funny, upbeat, and pleasant to look at.
Yeah, it's Ants for me. I like that film a lot better. The only thing I like better in Bug's Life is the circus bugs. They are very, very funny. Everything else I thought was very, and the bird. The bird was pretty creepy. Everything else I thought was very forgettable to me. I never really got into that movie.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you guys know the writer of the new Zelda movie is the same writer of Jurassic House? The They're Alive Like Me, that guy. This is so bad.
Oh, Jurassic. At first I was like, is that like an asylum movie? I'm like, oh, the Jurassic World spinoff. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Things happen behind the scenes. Sometimes scripts are altered, and maybe dinosaurs wasn't the person's wheelhouse. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic for that film. It is pretty cool that we're getting one.
Yeah. Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. I read ahead and I don't think there are no spoilers in this. I saw The Marvels last night. It's a fun and absolutely bonkers superhero movie, which was what I wanted. Captain Marvel wasn't bland and the three leads worked off each other very well. There's some effective emotional moments. What did you guys think of the movie if you saw it?
Did you see it?
I did. I had a good time with it. I had a good time with it. We did talk about it for almost an hour on Monday.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in my and Walter's full thoughts, go back to the Monday VOD for Awesome Comics and Cocktails, because we talked about it pretty extensively. I had a fun time with it. I enjoyed it. Do I think it's necessary for you to see it in theaters? Probably not. You can probably wait for it to just get to Disney Plus and you won't be missing too much. It's pretty generic, but it's fun. So I
I
enjoyed it.
heard so like at first the buzz was like a disaster. This is like an absolute like how did they even release it like this? And then it came out and some people were like, it's all right, and then some people are just like, it's bad, but it's just generic or whatever and stuff like. And it's weird. I was actually more excited when I was hearing it's like a disaster. You know what I mean? And now when I'm hearing like it's fine or it's not that hot, I'm just like, oh, but I was actually looking forward to more the crazy bad stuff. But who knows? I actually really thought Elementals was fun for how I'm one of the few people I thought
Eternals?
it was so bad. Eternals, yeah, was so bad it was like entertaining. So maybe I'll think that, or maybe I'll like it too. I don't know. Like I said, I do really like the Miss Marvel character.
Well, then you should talk to Walter because Walter hated it.
Yeah, I'm like,
He said it was the worst Marvel movie, and I was like,
I'm
that is so
I'm
strong.
So curious. Yeah, no, I so wanted to see because I was seeing these reactions. I hate being behind on a movie that people, have thoughts, about. I'm just like, like I really, really want to see it because of that.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Just saw your review on Mrs. Doubtfire today and thought it was really funny as usual. I also like that in the movie that Pierre's character isn't an unlikable jerk like in other movies and seems to be really chill around the kids.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you can tell when he goes in the pool and he's talking to the guy at the bar, like that was supposed to be the moment where he reveals he's a scumbag or something like that. And I'm so glad Columbus pushed back on that. It's like, no, let's the family's gonna be all right, and that Daniel needs to move on, kind of thing. And I thought that was so smart of them, and it was so refreshing not to have that cliche in there for a film that has a bunch of other cliches that are still fine.
Smash Ultra, thank you for the 100 bits. Think you can review a Scooby-Doo movie about ghost dinosaurs and the birthplace of Super Shaggy.
Super Shaggy, or is it Super Saiyan Shaggy?
Ooh.
Super Shagon. I will try to look into it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Does anyone else have a sneaky suspicion that the Suicide Squad game is going to suck? No, I'm excited about it because it's actually by the same studio as the Arkham games. Everyone thought that Gotham Knights was, but it wasn't. But the Suicide Squad one is actually by the same studio and people who made the Arkham games. So, like, I got some faith in it. Give them some wiggle room. They've already innovated in the superhero video game genre, so like maybe.
And I guess I'm not the one to talk to because I swear to God, I was like, didn't that already come out? And now I'm like, oh, it was just the trailer with Kevin Conroy and stuff. That's right. Like there's something big about what it wasn't online play or multiplayer or something like that. That was like a big stink about. There was something about it that was like people can't get upset about. Was that it?
I don't remember. There was some kind of mechanic that they wanted to go back and completely redo, essentially. So
okay, yeah, that's about all I heard about. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I played one of the Arkham Asylum games. I really liked it. 2, if you count the VR.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. Loved your Mrs. Doubtfire review. Watching that made me miss Robin Williams.
Yeah, nah, it's always a bummer. And I don't want to go too down. I do look more into the aftermath of that and stuff like that. And they did say it was very, very possible / kind of likely because was it Parkinson's I think he had or something like that it could have messed with his mind because everybody was like that just didn't. Yeah, he was depressed, but that seemed very out of character for him, and he was showing signs of like a little mental. I don't know what you call it, just not being himself.
Distress,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so it's always one of those things that you kind of go, okay, like hopefully that's it, because you don't want to think, man, something drove him to that. Like you hope just, I don't know. Either way, whatever was going on, it's very, very sad. Obviously.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Order these Scorsese movies from best to worst. Wolf of Wall Street, Hugo, Casino, Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York is the bottom, then Casino. Mm, mm. Okay, in terms of how they're made, Hugo is better, but I like Wolf of Wall Street more, which is weird. You think it'd be the other way, but Wolf of Wall Street was so funny, and I didn't know it was a comedy going in. I think that's what really surprised me. I just laughed so hard and so constantly throughout all of it. I had a blast during it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you ever do an NC for Nick Jr. shows like Blue's Clues, Max and Ruby, Franklin the Turtle, etc.?
If I grew up with them, maybe, but I didn't. I'm not gonna be able to represent the audience that grew up with it or really have, that many good jokes or anything. So probably not. That should be left to someone else, someone that really, I don't want to say understands it more, but it grew up with it and knows the audience more.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I saw, I think, my first foreign film yesterday. Or recently, sorry. It's called Sister Death. It's a prequel to the horror film called Veronica. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Cool. Yeah, I had never heard of either of those, so I will try to check it out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, remember in your Batman v Superman review when you said the film was trying too hard to juggle too many stories in a single film too soon? Well, that is exactly how I felt watching the original live-action TMNT movie, but I'm glad you love it, Doug.
Do they mean the live action one or the one actually called TMNT? Did they say live action or animated?
They said live action TMNT.
Okay, they were talking about that. Actually, I kind of thought that one it had just enough going on. Well, no, I think it balanced out just enough. I think it balanced out okay. God, if that bothered you, wait till you see all the other movies because they throw like everything in the kitchen sink at you in the other films.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 John Hughes movies.
Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Home Alone. I feel like I'm missing another obvious one. Oh, maybe. Christmas Vacation. Yeah, all holiday movies.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. I was watching this Hallmark Christmas movie where in the end an angel becomes a real person and she gets to be with the man she fell in love with after bringing the town Christmas spirit. Then I thought, it'll be so ironic January 2nd she gets hit by a bus because God is a fucked up genie. Why did my brain immediately go to that?
Just the idea God's a genie. Like, what a twist. I don't know why that really made me laugh. Could be, I've heard stranger Christmas rom-com plots.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Flatliners?
I never saw it, that or the remake. I heard mixed things. I heard some people love it, or people say it's really stupid, and the people that love it also love it because it's really stupid. So I don't know. I should check it out at some point.
Rand C Gaming, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I'm glad you're back. My question is, will you be watching the new Percy Jackson show, that is coming to Disney Plus for next year's Disney-cember?
I want to, definitely. It doesn't come out this year or next year, do you know?
I think it's next year.
Oh, okay.
2024? I don't know.
All right.
I could absolutely be wrong.
Given that this is finally gone by then, the fatigue and everything, I'd like to, yeah, because I saw the movie. People were so angry at it that I'm really curious to see what a faithful adaptation would be. It sounds like that's what this is really building up. It's a faithful adaptation and everything. So, I'm curious to check it out.
Porcupines Are God, thank you for the 100 bits. Why do you think The Thing 1982 was hated when it first came out?
I don't know. I can't even imagine. Maybe because it's a remake and maybe they're comparing it to the original, which is a very different film, but I want a remake to be different, So yeah, I loved it. I think most people love it.
It is coming out this year, Percy Jackson. December is what Chad is saying.
Oh, it is.
Cool.
Okay.
That's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, maybe it'll be for next year's Disney-cember then, because I'm just gonna be too busy this year.
DJ Lowell5, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you hear the news about Coyote versus Acme? And if so, what are your thoughts? Me personally, I think Zaslav has been going too far with canceling movies and are glad that movie is getting sold to another streaming services.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it earlier. I like to see it because I thought it was like a joke movie. I just couldn't believe it was a real film being made. It sounded like like an internet rumor or something. But now that it's made and everything, I hope they can get at different studio. My fear is that they're gonna have it go to a different studio, and then Warner Bros. Is gonna pull some sort of course. Now, of course, if you want to use our character or Wile E. Coyote, you have to pay this amount. If you use them for this amount of time and use them for, like, I'm hoping they don't do shit like that, because maybe that's their idea. They're just like, oh, we can make even more money on this on top of it being a tax write-off. So I hope that's not the case.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Chicago?
Oh, I like it. Even though none of it is shot in Chicago. Yeah, it's so funny because that's one of the films Rob really doesn't like, and I'm just like, I dig
What
it.
doesn't he love about Chicago?
I don't know. I think he thinks it's a little too obvious and too in your face, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty stylized and cool and everything. The one thing I would have switched out is I didn't get into Richard Gere as the lawyer, but he's not bad. It's just one of those things where you're watching thinking like, man, I can think of like 5 actors who would be better in this role. But yeah, no, I had a real good time with it. Captain Zeta-Jones, come on.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Zoolander movies?
I only saw the first one. I thought it was very funny, which is kind of humorous because when it came out, everyone was like, oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's so stupid. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And then years later, so I avoided it. And then years later, like, I heard all these people love it. It has a following and everything. And when I put it on, I'm like, they're right. This is hilarious.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Quiz Lady?
I haven't seen it. It's one of those I want to wait and hear if there's good word of mouth about it because the idea is kind of interesting, but I can so easily see it going either way, being like really funny or just really annoying.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, how are you going to spend Game Awards night? I'm going to order a small pizza and grab a wine cooler while enjoying the show. If it's on a Thursday night again, I'm probably going to live stream it because that was a lot of fun last time. Last year's, I co-streamed it, so I'd love to do that again.
That's cool.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, the 1997 Borrowers. Why can I never say that movie? Borrowers movie is probably my most nostalgic movie. Please make an NC for it.
It's on the list. I actually haven't seen it. I hear it's a good movie. I hear it's a good flick. I'm sure it has like, a following. I don't know, maybe in like, but I don't know if it would do well. I don't know if it would do numbers. So maybe I'll do it in like January or February, when it's like kind of a dead season. It doesn't matter if you get a ton of views. So yeah, I'll get around to it.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Nice Little Mermaid review last week. To answer one question, each of King Triton's daughters represents one of the 7 seas. I don't think the Little Mermaid remake is great, but better than the others. I prefer Ariel and Eric's extended romance in it too.
People said that, but what does that mean? I know the idea, like, they each represent a different, ocean, a different part of the sea and stuff like that, but it's like, what? So when they give birth, they just kind of become that sea? Like, what does that mean? Is a mother from each part of the sea, or is that, like, I don't know. I feel like you could have done something really cool with that. You could have seen, like, maybe each one growing up in a different sea, and they kind of take on, like, the environment and, the culture of it and stuff. That would have been really cool to see. Like, that's how mermaids are, because you can make up anything you want, but they don't. They just kind of show them they're just they're just like that. And I'm just like, why not explore that? Why not be really creative with that? Unless I'm missing something, unless there's something really obvious I'm missing. But people wrote that in the comments before, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Spooky Elephant, thank you for the 100 bits. You're given the chance to bring back one of these legends and thank them for making the world a better place. Who do you choose? Mr. Rogers, Steve Irwin, or Bob Ross?
I'm trying to think which one didn't know that. I think they all did to some extent. Maybe Bob Ross. I think the way because Mr. Rogers and Steve Irwin could clearly see who they were helping. Irwin with the animals, Rogers with children and adults. I don't know if Ross saw how much calm energy he was bringing to people. He'd probably be a good one to bring back.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we get a clue for next week's NC review, please?
Right after this commercial.
Excellent. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Mel Brooks movie High Anxiety?
Oh, I like it. I will say, if you have never seen a Hitchcock movie, it's going to make no sense to you at all. But if you have, a lot of his movies, when they're parodies, kind of depend on you, knowing what they're satirizing. It's pretty great.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 145 bits. How do you feel about the rumors of an upcoming live-action Zelda movie? Oh, they're not just rumors. Nintendo themselves said that it is in production.
I'm shocked it's live action. I'm happy for it, I guess, but I'm legit really surprised. I really thought they were gonna do like animation, but not with Illumination. They're gonna have it look more like like Final Fantasy or something like that. So I hope it's good. I hope they put in the extra effort that is needed to make it good. I hope there's good atmosphere and good environment to it. I hope it takes its time. I hope it isn't just throwing a lot of stuff that you recognize. You know what I mean? Like actually really give Hyrule an environment, give it an atmosphere, and give the characters real identity.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Mel Brooks movie To Be or Not to Be?
I never saw it. I always would see it at the video store when those were around, and I never rented it. And I don't know. You tell me, how's it?
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your anticipation level for Disney's Wish? I'm very excited for it, but everyone I've argued with says it feels AI generated, which drives me up a wall.
I have to remind myself I shouldn't say I have to remind myself it's coming out, because that was like Strange World. That one, everyone's like, oh, did that come out? Like, I'm aware it's coming out. It looks fine. After the track record they've had recently, I am a little tugging at the collar a little bit, but it looks good. It's kind of nice going back to formula a little bit with kind of like a fairy tale thing going on. So I hope it's good.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on The Holdovers?
I don't even know what that is. I'll try to check it out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, Loki season finale thoughts?
I'm assuming they're talking about season 2, and I haven't even seen an episode of season 2. I'm so far behind. Like I said, I'm just trying to catch up with stuff with Disney December and everything, and the fatigue knocking me on my ass. So yeah, it'll be a while until I get to it, I think.
It's good. If you haven't watched it, anyone out there, I would recommend for sure. I think it still cements Loki as my favorite of the Marvel TV shows.
Okay, that's good, because I really like season 1. I haven't really heard anyone talking about season 2, so that's good to know. If you say it's worth it, I'll definitely go on my way to try to check it out.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the trailer for Madam Web? And if so, what are your thoughts? Me personally, I'm glad Sony are finally making a Marvel movie that actually has superheroes in it rather than making Spider-Man's villains misunderstood anti-heroes. Hoping it's at least decent.
Maybe I had a complete misunderstanding of who Madam Web was. I always thought it was like this old lady supervillain who was blind and like was kind of hooked up to a web, or that she was kind of like this mastermind kind of thing. And so when I saw that title, I was kind of like, oh, I thought that was the Spider-Man villain. Oh, okay, whatever. And then I watched, I'm like, oh, it is kind of, sort of, maybe. I don't know. The only thing, I mean, on top of whatever side Spider-Man characters getting movies, which I just still don't fully follow, is the acting from Dakota Johnson was not blowing me away. That's the only thing I was looking at where I'm just like, that I can already see as maybe a big problem. But I don't know, everything else I guess looks fine, but again, it's like all those movies, whatever, that and Venom and everything, they look fine, but they're rarely that good.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the most recent episode of Bob's Burgers?
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, it didn't show up on Hulu yet, so maybe it is now. So ask me next week.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. If you're still doing the re-review of Temple of Doom, what other past reviews would you like to give a do-over to?
Oh, a lot of the ones where I couldn't go over 10 minutes in the early, I love to do like Street Fighter again, the Super Mario Brothers movie, the Ninja Turtles movies, maybe the first Mortal Kombat again, a Space Jam I wouldn't mind doing again. Can you still see me okay?
I can see you.
Okay, on my side it froze for a second, just making sure. So yeah, that's I always joke we talk about doing a theme month where we just like, it's like a redo month where we redo all these ones that we can go into more detail about and the different style, but we already can kind of see people saying like, oh god, he's so out of ideas, he's literally redoing his old reviews kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe like the final year we do NC, maybe we'll do it there.
And Newt, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Gilbert and Sullivan operas, if you've seen any of them? And have you considered doing a nostalgia critic on any of the film adaptations?
I didn't know there were that many film adaptations, honestly.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen a film adaptation, but I've definitely seen many Gilbert and Sullivan operas.
Yeah, I like them. I don't love them. I don't know, something about them. You know, I love how clever they are. I love how fast and bouncy they are and stuff. But yeah, no, it's kind of like Rogers and Hammerstein's was the same one. It just something about them never quite grabbed me, even though I acknowledge they're very very good. But yeah, they're good.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, did you see the trailer for The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Thought it looked good. I've only seen one of those newer movies, and it was the last one, and I did really enjoy it. But yeah, I got a lot to catch up on it. It was so weird because that looked like a good spot to stop. I'm really kind of surprised they're still going. So yeah, no, it looked decent.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. You know that trend where someone takes a classic film and turns it into a slasher? The newest victim of this trend is called It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yeah, I think I saw the trailer of that. I don't know. It didn't look good, but out of those setups, I saw like possibilities for it. You know what I mean? Like I kind of saw the trailer, like, okay, I see what you're doing. That's a little funny, but I don't know if it would last for a whole movie.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite moment from the most recent con you went to? Getting the live stream to work for the panel for me and eating lunch in the same room as Vincent D'Onofrio.
That was pretty cool. Oh, yeah, on that note. Oh, and I still got to share pictures I just read. Oh, I got to write that down. But meeting Bill Farmer was really cool. Yeah, because whenever I did a video that had like Goofy in it, he would usually share it and everything. And it was cool seeing him like do the voice for like, like someone brought their baby up and he would just naturally go into the like, oh gosh, like he would do the whole thing. And it's very cool to hear, in person. So yeah, that was pretty neat. I talked a little bit about how how well he did the drama of the character like that and Hop Pop and stuff like that, how he can really find the drama of these characters with seemingly silly voices. I thought that was very, very impressive. So we talked a little bit about that, and that was pretty cool.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Rank these Robin Hood movies from best to worst. Men in Tights, Prince of Thieves, Ridley Scott.
I think he just did it.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Noah Zitter, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, Christmas is almost upon us. Would you please review either Edward Scissorhands or Gremlins or both?
Okay.
Okay. At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. This is kind of personal, but has shingles affected time with your wife?
Yeah, I'm home a lot more. No, it's when I had it was rough because she would have to, like I said, every part of my head like hurt, and the nerve pain would it was so random because it would feel like you have a really bad sunburn and then someone would randomly just like smack it, just be ow, like it just randomly, like it just feels like somebody would just hit you, and it was so strange. So I'd just be watching somebody, I'd just be like like that. It was so weird. But no, I mean it's been all right. She I feel like anytime one of us had, like, she had nerve injury on her when she had her wisdom teeth out and stuff like that. And I feel like she got the worst end of that, man, because that lasted a lot longer. And it's one of those things where it's like, we take care of each other when stuff like that happens. So yeah, we make the time.
I love that chat says, no, that was Rob smacking you. And then someone else in chat said that was Heather. Sean, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, if you ever going to do another Was That Real video, I've got one for you. A little-known sci-fi series called The Star Lost. A show so bad series creator/writer Harlan Ellison had his name taken off before the first episode went out. All the episodes are on YouTube and DVD if you're feeling daring.
What's it called again?
Excuse me, Star Lost, all one word.
Star Lost. I mean, so I don't know if I'll do a review or Was That Real, because again, those take a lot of time. But yeah, just hearing that sounds kind of fun. I'll try to check it out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, one of these movie trilogies has to go. Dark Knight, OG Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings. Make your choice.
I mean, it's one of those things where if one didn't exist, would we have the other? You know what I mean? So, well, in terms of what would I watch, I probably get rid of Star Wars. But in terms of what is like the best, what is the most consistently best one, you probably get rid of the Dark Knight because I still don't think the last one was that good.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. First date with your spouse.
I always like to say we start at rock bottom because we actually went to a restaurant called Rock Bottom. And we saw a movie we thought was a charming, little like coming of age movie and stuff like that called The Kite Runner. It is not that. Yeah, if you know this story.
I love that book. I love that book so much.
It's very, very good, but it ain't a date movie at all.
Nope. If you thought it was just a coming of age story,
Nope. I mean, it was good, but there's a lot of times I sort of looked over and went, this is not to put an arm around, the lady situation here.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, hi, Doug. By the way, how's your sex life? That was a really good spit take.
Thank you.
Rancy Gaming, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Doug, I finally been able to recommend the Ratchet and Clank weapon commercials for the early 2000s for the commercial special, so I was wondering, have you seen them yet?
I saw them a long time ago. I didn't work them in this time, but maybe in the future.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. With the end of the year not too far away, I've currently seen 45 2023 new releases. Here are my bottom 5. 5, Peter Pan and Wendy, Spy Kids Armageddon, The Magician's Elephant, Cocaine Bear, and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey being the biggest turd that I saw this year.
Oh, I thought Cocaine Bear was pretty fun. As long as you know it is complete fiction. Like, literally, the title is as true as it gets.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, what category in the Game Awards would you personally want removed because it's a useless thing that takes up space? I really don't think we need those esports stuff. Yeah, I'm not too into the esports scene, so I think you can get rid of some of the esports players and things like that. Also, continuous game. Like, I get, like, you want to be like, ooh, yay, this game has been going strong forever, but like, we get it. It's almost always the same games because what is it? Final Fantasy XIV, World of Warcraft, Fortnite, like it's kind of the same reoccurring game, so that would feel silly to me. Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. This week's Chatting with Doug is brought to you by DoorDash. It's better than going on a date with a guy expecting him to pay for 4 plates of oysters after only agreeing to meet him for drinks.
My golly, you're right. Thank you, sponsorship.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Is next week's NC commercials? If not, clue?
I'll tell you right after this commercial. Or was that before with the DoorDash?
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. What couples do you wish could happen that haven't happened? For example, the couple I would like to see is Farah and Mercy, Bangalore and Valkyrie, and Genji and his hand.
Like who do you ship kind of thing, right?
Yeah, like who did you want to see come together but didn't?
I feel like there's ones out there that I've said, oh, I want those two to get together, and I hate that they're not. But I'm blank. Josh Hartnett and whoever he's the third wheel with. I always feel like for so many years he was always like the third wheel, and he was always the one that didn't, end up with the woman. I'm just like, that's not fair. He's always the nicer guy.
Chat, you killing me. Virtuous Sinner says Frodo and Sam. They should have ended up together.
No, the guys from Road to El Dorado. They totally should have been a couple.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. There's a video I watched about the Little Mermaid remake. This video is set in the Caribbean around the 1700s. Given there's a black queen and a black Little Mermaid, what cargo do you think those ships were hauling? Total yikes moment for Disney.
Don't worry, they don't follow history that close at all.
No.
You see Pocahontas.
You see Pocahontas. Yep. Demon Kings, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you watched The Amazing Digital Circus?
No, I know what it is. I will give fair warning. I didn't get into murder drones that much. It's not bad. It just wasn't my thing. But that show looked a little bit more like something I'd be into. But I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Again, a lot of it's because I'm not able to box again. I have to go back to just walking in the morning because I did get the fatigue so bad this past week. So that's usually when I watch stuff, like episodes of something. So I'll try my best. Okay, you're not the only one to recommend that.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you been watching season 2 of The Santa Clauses? And if so, what do you think so far?
No, I really liked the first season. The trailer for the second season didn't look that great, but that can kind of mean anything. I like Gabriel Iglesias is that his name.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's always very funny. So I'm glad to see he's there. But everything else wasn't grabbing me from the trailer. So that's another one I might just wait and see what people say about it first.
And Newt, thank you for the 100 bits. Just wondering, Doug, have you considered reviewing The Buzz on Maggie for Disney-cember, possibly next year if there's no time this year?
What's it called?
The Buzz on Maggie?
On Maggie.
I'm not familiar with that one.
What is is it a show? I think it's a show. I feel like I've seen this thing before. It's kind of like a little Flash animation show, I think. First episode. Yeah, okay, so it's a show. Oh, it's an old one too, like 2005. We'll see. Yeah, it's already a lot of shows to watch, but I will do my best.
CJ Noel Lopez, thank you for the 100 bits. Time to decide, which movie pizza looks better? Home Alone 2 cheese pizza or the Goofy movie pizza?
I mean, I grew up with Home Alone, so I'm going to say that.
Nick Oswald, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the announcement for the live-action Legend of Zelda movie being directed by the director of the Maze Runner movies? I'm already cautious for his attempt at the Planet of the Apes movie he's releasing next year, so...
Oh, okay.
But they have a whole bunch of emojis that you can't see that I'm doing. It's just like the praying hand emoji.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Excuse me. I saw that. I mean, again... Sometimes with older movies, that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, they're all going to be like that, you know. I never did see Maze Runner either. For all I know, maybe it's great. I heard it's not. I guess we'll see with a Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. See how that goes. But yeah, if Kingdom isn't that good, then I'll be legit afraid of what Zelda's going to be like. But even if it's not, you never know. I mean, there is a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes and, you know, things that get in the way and stuff like that. And again, sometimes people just need to find their wheelhouse for something. And, you know, maybe it is Zelda for this person. I don't know.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. When talking about film, is it better to look at them in subjectively or objectively?
You know, and that's the nice thing about it. You can do both. You know, a lot of times when I review something, I'll say if, you know, I didn't personally get into it, but I think there's a crowd for it. I think there's an audience for it. And there's nothing, you know, I'll say there's nothing objectively wrong with it, but, you know, it doesn't do much for me, you know, but I'll say I think there's, you know, a lot like this, you know, this group or this audience might like it and stuff. So, yeah, you can do both. That's a nice thing when people say, well, is, you know, is art, you know, something really meaningful and powerful, the most important thing in the world, or is it a bunch of, you know, painting on, you know, paper and stuff like that? It's both. I mean, that's what's so great about it.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. This is for the chat. I'm making a superhero game about a very popular public domain superhero. What's the thought of having Ashley Birch, the voice actress for Tiny Tina, and Cassie Cage to play the heroine? Sorry, Doug and Heather, you can chime in too. I mean, that'd be great if you can get her. I love her. She plays Aloy too in Horizon Zero Dawn. She's a great actress. So if you can get her, go for it.
Go for it.
Abnormal Gamer, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you played and or seen Markiplier's playthrough? If you didn't, then what did you think of Five Nights at Freddy's as a newcomer to the lore?
The excuse me, of the movie. All it needed was more of the animatronics killing people, you know, or doing something creepy. We only got one scene of that, and then at the end they're taken out really easily too, and that was such a letdown. Everything else I was willing to give a pass to. I'm like, it's okay because I'm here for killer animatronics, and I know that there is. I don't know what the lore is, but well, now I know, I guess, with the movie, but. You know, I was like, okay, I'm sure this is giving fans what they want, stuff like that. I just needed more of them being scary because, yeah, that one moment where they do it, it's fantastic. And I was so excited for more. And then when we didn't get, I thought that was such a letdown. But yeah, I was on the fence about it. And yeah, I haven't seen I've seen clips of the Markiplier, you know, I think everyone's seen him, you know, scream, ah, you know, but Yeah, I haven't seen the whole playthrough.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. When can we expect another tier list? Maybe Disney Animation, Pixar, Star Wars? Well, it's definitely on the list as um a possible incentive soon, maybe in December or January, but this month's incentive is here already. The November incentive, exclamation point goal in the chat will let you know what it is. But basically, if we are at 215 subs by the given day, we're going to do a Christmas movie quiz, which I think is going to be really fun. I had a stroke of genius that I'm really excited about that I would love to make the quiz for. One of the sections, I can tell you right now, if we hit the goal, is going to be I'm going to give you lots of pictures of Santas, and you have to tell me what movie that Santa is from.
Ooh, okay. Well, I bet I could do that. I bet.
Do you
No,
think?
but there's a lot of Santas, man.
There's a lot
I
of
don't know. That's
Santas.
the thing.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. I think I can spend money for 500 bits. I saw your review of The Little Mermaid 2023 film the last 2 weeks, playing devil's advocate for one cheer. It would have been worse, but the moments of relationship goals between Ariel and Eric were so good.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like it was good. That stuff's fine. I don't know if I got into as much as everyone else. I do love, like I said, her revealing her name to him. I thought that was such a clever way of doing that and sort of putting a different spin on what they did in the anime one. I thought that was very clever.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for Ants.
Maybe. I do like that movie. Yeah, no, that might be an idea. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. If you were a movie director, what kind of movies would you make?
I mean, that's originally what I wanted to do, honestly. But then I kind of realized, like, I don't think I'm not built for that world, that Hollywood world. I'm too Midwest for that. But the good news is a lot of the movies I wanted to make, they did get made. They were just called something else, and other people had similar ideas. So honestly, I think, and they're probably made a lot better than I could have made them. So yeah, no, all that's very cool. But I like all that weird shit, dark, weird, creepy, odd stuff, things that have ironic twists to them and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I really like.
CJ Noel Lopez, thank you for the 100 bits. There are rumors that DreamWorks might be doing a live-action remake of Prince of Egypt. If true, what are your thoughts on how they should handle it?
I would. Okay, so I have not seen this yet, but I hear it's good. I would just do the musical they have now, the Broadway musical.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone says it's really good. It sounds like it's already set, for you can just kind of transfer that to live action and everything. I don't know. I say go that route.
Power Gamer says, we have. It's called The 10 Commandments.
Where are the songs?
That's true. Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. What would be your approach to reviewing a documentary or based on a true story film?
Based on a true story. I mean, I've done that before with Patch Adams and stuff like that. Those are easier to do than a documentary. Because documentary, I mean, there is a lot you can critique about, like the editing and when they show certain stuff and what the narrative is and everything. But when it's based on a true story, that you can rate the performances, you can compare it to what really happened and stuff like that. I don't know what I would do if I was to do a documentary. I feel like you could get some jokes out of Michael Moore's stuff, because that's very suggestive editing and stuff like that. But the subject matter are usually pretty heavy, and I feel like that's just gonna start a war in the comments anyway. So yeah, that's about it outside of that. No, there was one called it was a Jamie Kennedy documentary. It was called Hecklers. I was really excited about this because, man, a documentary about how stand-ups handle heckler. What a great idea, because I love stand-ups and I love how they handle hecklers. And halfway through the movie, they abandoned that and they turned it from hecklers into critics. And now critics are hecklers, and critics didn't like Jamie Kennedy's movies. And as Jamie Kennedy just railing on critics, like it feels like it's a joke, but I think he was totally serious about it. I'm just like, oh, there was a great idea for a documentary in here. It was just wasted.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Can we have Heather as Link in the Legend of Zelda movie? That would kick ass. I'd pass that up, I think. I could be one of the great fairies.
I was gonna say, I feel like who would be Link?
I don't know, but I saw some great fan casting for Hunter Schafer as Zelda, and that would be perfect. Have you seen Euphoria?
Yeah.
She plays Jules, Rue's friend, the blonde one.
I think I know who you're talking about. Hold on.
Hunter Schafer
Oh, Hunter.
is her name. Yeah.
Hunter Schafer is.
Someone mentioned that, and I was like, she would be a great Zelda, actually.
Oh, it must be because when I clicked on it, the first image that came up, I thought was like a fan edit of her as Zelda, and it's like, oh no, it's just her from the show. Well, okay, I guess that proves the point.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, man, Eva guy has the pointy ears. Yeah,
I think it'd be great.
what accents would everybody have?
I hope not
Would they have
British. I don't know.
I'm kind of with you. I'm sick of British fantasies. And yeah, it was Zelda. Maybe because of that stupid Link cartoon from the Mario Brothers show, but I see them as having American accents. But yeah,
We'll
I don't
see.
know.
Nick Oswald, thank you for the 100 bits. Love the Mrs. Doubtfire review. Definitely the epitome of my childhood. If you by chance find my TikTok account, I actually did reenact the I Do Voices scene. It was a lot of fun. That said, are there any more Robin Williams, that's what it is, RW, movies you'd like to review in the future? I could see you doing something underrated like Bicentennial Man. What do you think?
I never saw Bicentennial Man. It looked bad. I'm not gonna lie, but I should give it a chance. I should watch it. But probably Jumanji. A lot of people requested that. I think when people would request it, it was too close to when he passed away, and I'm just like, this is gonna be a bummer. But it's like I feel like enough time has passed where we can talk about it. And when it came out, I don't know. That's another one where my opinion kind of changes on, because I did really like the book. I know it's a picture book and everything, but like I really liked it growing up, and I thought that was kind of an odd adaptation, and I didn't think it was anything that great. But then I kind of respect it would go a little meaner and darker and stuff like that, and like I don't know, I get that it's kind of growing on me a little bit.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. If movies had honest titles, what would some popular films be called?
They used to do this on was it Cracked, that would do honest movie posters and stuff like that. It would have like the real titles and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm off the clock. I can't comedy right now. I got the brain fog. I'm so sorry. But I think Cracked.com did a whole bunch. Maybe they still do them. I don't know. But they did a whole. But I think particularly around movies that were nominated for Best Picture, they would do like real, like honest titled movies, and they were very, very funny.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Marvel or DC Detective Comics in terms of movies, video games, comic books, and their titular superheroes? If you want to say both, I won't judge you for it. The other bit messages, not so much.
For best comics and movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Personally, for me, if I'm going to list it off, Marvel for me does movies better, but I like the DC video games, DC comics, and DC animated properties more than Marvel. But that's just me.
It's weird because with the exception of Batman, all the stuff I really got into growing up and I still get excited for is usually Marvel stuff, particularly X-Men. I was huge into X-Men. I love Spider-Man. And I got more into Spider-Man later, but blah, blah, blah. So I guess I like Marvel a little more, but like Batman's probably like one of my all-time favorite characters. So it's really weird saying that because he's DC, and they have some of the best villains of all time and everything. So I don't know. I guess I would kind of lean towards Marvel, but it's rough. Batman's pretty legit.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Pardon me, Miss Roos, but you tell that Walter person you mentioned that The Marvels is not the worst MCU project. That title belongs to Thor: Love and Thunder.
Come on, are we forgetting Eternals?
Right.
Are we just living in a non-Eternals world?
When Walter was like, it's the worst Marvel movie, and I was like, really? Not even Eternals? Not even like Thor: Dark World? Like what?
That's what I'm so curious about. I'm curious to see how some people are like, and it isn't people I like, whatever, have the big yellow text and the evil Mickey Mouse and the thumbnails. I mean, it's like real respectable people that are very, balanced on movies and stuff, just like not only hating it, but saying it's like barely even a movie. Like I am so fascinated by that. I'm so curious to see if I just see it and be like, it's whatever, or if I would just be like, I can't, it's unwatchable, kind of thing. Like, I'm so curious.
Robin the Snob, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, I wanted to share a dark Pikachu moment from the show to try and lessen your Pokemon hate. There's an episode where a member of Team Rocket, Meowth, is drowning. Not only does Pikachu do nothing to help Meowth, but he's visibly disappointed when Meowth gets to safety. Pokemon's cute and cuddly mascot was gonna let someone drown.
And he says, Pika me, no, Pika you.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Can you think of any movies that are pretty but have weirdly great endings? On that point, what are the most uneven movies?
I never heard of this movie, and we saw the ending of it when we were at Grand Rapids, and we were just like, what is this? It was like one of the most gorgeous looking films I've ever seen. But we thought it was like the sequel to 300, and it wasn't. It was a movie called Immortals. And we were just like watching it like, what? I never even heard. We looked it up and it got really bad reviews and everybody's like, this is the most gorgeous bad film you've ever seen. And honestly, it's one of those movies where it's like, I mean, just based on that ending, it's like, I do want to see it just to look at it. So yeah, I don't know. Just based on the ending, it looked pretty cool. But yeah, maybe the rest of the film isn't that hot.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell movie, Spirited?
I still haven't seen it. I heard a good thing. Maybe I'll watch it this year. I don't have Apple TV, but my brother does. So maybe, I don't know, maybe one of these nights. Sometimes we go over, especially around the holidays, and we'll put on something. So maybe we'll put on that.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Any old gags you miss doing? I personally miss I'm acting.
I don't know. I usually just do it. I will say this. I look back at a lot of the older, so particularly like the clipless reviews. And just with like the energy, I mean, especially now with the fatigue, but I mean, just the energy I have now and the age I'm at now, I do look at that. I just go, how the fuck did I do that? Like, I mean, and I say but good God, we have like the whole crew, Jim making stuff, all the actors and stuff like that. And everybody just putting in, 1,000,000%, people doing effects and everything like that. But yeah, just in terms of like writing it, planning it out, editing it, acting and stuff like that, I'm just like, how the flying fuck did I do? When did I have enough energy to do that and still do like other stuff as well?
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Since Booster Gold is announced, who do you think should play him? I prefer Gary Owen. Look him up on YouTube. He fits the character to the point that he can do an action comedy.
I was gonna say I had to look up Booster Gold. Even I have no idea who this dude is. So yeah, I mean, I see he's a comic book character, but that's it. I don't know anything else. So yeah, I'm not the guy to ask.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Here's an NC suggestion, the Big Mama's House movies. Those kind of cross-dressing movies that have gone out of fashion were all over in the 2000s, and I'd like to see your take.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I did see White Chicks.
Oh,
so I could do that. I never have seen it. Yeah, actually, I don't know. That might be kind of fun. I'll write that down.
Blake the Nothing, thank you for the 100 bits. Evening, y'all. Are you watching the new season of Rick and Morty? No spoilers, but the new VA for Rick absolutely killed it in the last episode.
Cool. No, not yet. I always see it when it comes to Max because I don't have cable anymore. So I'll wait. I did see the trailer, and it sounded like the replacements were pretty good. So yeah, hopefully it's still good.
Gunblades, thank you for the 100 bits. What is the worst historical movie you saw that you never reviewed?
This isn't historical, but it's based on a true story, and I just hated it the moment I saw Perfect Storm. I really hated. Just what a corny, schmaltzy, like trying to make them look like epic heroes, and they have no idea what happened. And just the idea of the guy like he's gonna swim up and then he doesn't because he's like, no, I have to go down with the ship. It's like you have like people at home, and I think he had like a family. So like
We made Doug too mad. Doug? Doug? There you are.
Sorry. Yeah, I was talking about when he the captain goes back down with the ship and stuff like that. And I guess like people who knew him were just like, oh, fuck you, movie. like he would come and like try to see us. He would fight for his life. He wouldn't be like, no, this is noble or something. He'd be like, no, he'd do everything he can. If anything, he would try to help that guy live and stuff like that. They were really pissed off at that, and I think rightfully so.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Looking like Pedro Pascal is going to be playing Mr. Fantastic in the MCU. Thoughts?
Okay,
That
you know
could work.
what? No, because Christ, there's so many things that guy has been casted for, and I always go, really? And then he just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah,
So
he
I'm like,
melds. He just melts
yeah.
into roles.
Yes, it's just like, sure, absolutely. I'm not questioning. He could play Zelda, and I'd be like, yes, absolutely, that would work. Like he would find a way.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What would you say is Steve Martin's best performance and worst performance?
Sergeant Bilko was bad. I remember that being really bad. In terms of best, I'm trying to think of something where it's like, I mean, I don't know, maybe Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I feel like there's another performance. There's one, it's not that well-known movie, but it's called Leap of Faith. I thought he was pretty good in. Something where he brings like a different kind of nuance to the role, something he doesn't usually bring. And that might be one.
CJ Noel Lopez, thank you for the 100 bits. What's the next Disney Renaissance movie on the NCQ?
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, I like the idea of just slowly but surely doing all the Disney Renaissance movies. Like, I wasn't intending for that, and I'm kind of like, yeah, like, why not? I grew up with them. I can talk about them. The time has passed, but yeah, I don't know what the next one is.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What is your favorite fish odor episode of Bob's Burgers?
I think the one where, well, he's going to prank Bob, or he wants to be pranked, or both, and he has to do it without him knowing, but he knows he's gonna do it. It's like, you know, what do they call it? 4D chess or 4-level chess, whatever the hell it's called. And just neither of them can follow it. I thought that was very funny.
Hewlett Fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen any of the new Adult Swim movies? Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Plantasm, the Venture Bros finale, and the Metalocalypse, Jesus Christ, Heather, movie. Also, do you still think we're living in a dark age with the animation now, with the HBO Max issues and constant remakes, or have come out for that yet?
It's hard to say we're still in a dark age because I haven't kept up with a ton of them. I feel like, if anything, because there's so much available now, I feel like there's good stuff out there. You just gotta go looking for it. And you don't have to look hard. You don't have to look very long to find it, probably, especially just stuff online, you know, with like Hell of a Boss and, you know, like these murder drone shows and stuff like that. What's the first half? I'm sorry.
If you've seen any of the new Adult Swim movies.
Oh, I saw, I guess the Aqua Teen. No, I was going to say Aqua Teen, but I saw the original. I didn't see the new one. No, and I have to see the Venture Brothers one, because I did finally catch up on all the episodes, and I want to see the final movie. I got to check up on that.
Baroni Rockman, thank you for the 100 bits. Are there any movies that you've reviewed that you came back to years later with a completely different outlook?
So I didn't review it. I was going to, and everybody said, don't do it, don't hate on it. And so I didn't. And I did change my mind on it. That was Matilda. I came back and I'm just like, oh, fuck, this is really good. I was so fucking wrong about this. I hated I was so wrong about it. I'm sure there's others, but yeah, that's one where I was just like, oh, I went from really hating that movie to absolutely loving it.
CJ Noel Lopez, thank you for the 100 bits. I remember you being a fan of Paul Giamatti. I highly recommend his new movie, The Holdovers. It's very charming and funny. It's one of my favorite movies of 2023. Alexander Payne is the director, who of course also directed Sideways. Also, it's a Christmas movie, and I know how much you love Christmas movies.
Okay, I did see a trailer for that. And that's another one where I'm kind of like, man, this can either be really good or really obnoxious, like really corny. But that guy does go both ways with that. Like, sometimes he could just make a masterpiece like Sideways, and then he can make something like Downsizing, which was such a train wreck. So yeah, I'm curious to check that out. I think teaming those two back up probably would amount to something good.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Have either of you seen the new Hunger Games movie? Thoughts?
Is it even out? I didn't even know that.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if I'm going to see it this weekend.
Man, I'm so behind on stuff. No, I didn't even know it was out. I'll probably rent it, unless people say it's like a spectacular, you need to see it on the big screen thing. But yeah, I'll probably just rent. I like Hunger Games fine. It wasn't something where I was like obsessed with it though.
Nick Oswald, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think Madam Web showed too much? This is an honored Sony tradition which guarantees that it probably won't be good. Still optimistic, but it's history telling me it won't be. Morbius, anyone?
I just don't know that much about the character. I mean, I'll say this. I don't think I've seen a good Spider-Man spin-off movie that doesn't have Spider-Man yet. I haven't liked any of the... Actually, no, it's not. Again, I'm one of the few that thought Morbius was okay. I'm the weirdo. I'm the oddball. But yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. I was like, okay-ish. I haven't seen any that's like, that's a good, solid movie. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it didn't look like that to me, what little I know about the character. But, you never know. Could be a surprise.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Robin Williams' Law & Order episode, Authority? He's a great character, and I feel like people don't give him enough credit for being such a great performer in his serious works. Highly recommend the episode.
Yeah, I saw
have
that.
seen it.
I think I saw it when I came out. Yeah, I remember being very good. Yeah, he was a very good dramatic actor, especially if you got a good director who set up a good environment and atmosphere and everything. I feel like when you have kind of the schmaltzy Patch Adams thing going on, that doesn't work for me when he does that. But when he has to really be like, no, be legit, be real, he can do it. And he can do it very, very well.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Theme month for the Peter Jackson, Lord of the Ring, and Hobbit movies.
We've talked about it. It's one of those things where I kind of feel like, what am I going to say about that everyone else hasn't already said? But it's like, there's a few things. And I would like to talk about the Hobbit movies. I haven't seen the last one. That's the one downside. I would have to actually sit down and watch it. But I still really like the first one a great deal. So if anything, just to talk about that film, it would be interesting. Because I still like that better than Fellowship. Honestly, like I said, I'm kind of the one weirdo.
CJ Noel Lopez, thank you for the 100 bits. Every Christmas, one of your reviews has a touching message/skit. Will this be your Home Alone review this year?
No. And
Oh.
it's funny because I have an idea. I have an idea and I have a backup idea for it. It depends
Okay.
on how it goes because the special episode is going to be like an editorial review because if not, it will come out after Christmas and that wouldn't feel right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like I've never done it in an editorial review before. So we'll see if I can work it out. I'm crossing my fingers it'll work, but yeah, we'll see.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Funniest movie fight ever, and they have some choices. Adam Sandler versus Bob Barker in Happy Gilmore. Mark Wahlberg versus Seth MacFarlane in Ted. Sacha Baron Cohen versus Ken Davician in Borat, or none of the above.
Borat was pretty funny. I mean, they're all pretty funny. I like the one in was it They Live? I think the one between Keith David and who the hell is that? Is that Jeff Bridges in there? It's just this weird fight that just goes on forever, and you can just cut it and win and just lose nothing. But it's just this back alley fight that just keeps going, and it's just hilarious how long it keeps going. But no, if you really want the funniest fights ever, I mean, I feel like you gotta go to a Jackie Chan movie to get that. I mean, that's not only amazing martial arts, but it's amazing slapstick at the same time.
Tamara Chambers, thank you so much for that 50-month subscription. Welcome
Thank you.
back. We're so glad that you're contractually obligated to be here. No, just kidding.
Love you too.
Also, thank you for the mention that you're not streaming tonight. Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 18-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Sup, Doug and Heather. Just saw the Madam Web trailer. Though it's not what I expected from the character, it's at least nice to have a Spider-Man spinoff not based on one of his villains.
So is she not a villain? I always thought
I
she was
don't
a
think
villain.
so. She's definitely been depicted as old and in a web, but I think at most she's been ambivalent, but I don't know about a villain.
Okay, yeah, I just clearly do not know anything about this character. So, cool. If I guess I really will go into it completely blind, knowing nothing about the character, so I can just totally judge the movie just as that.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of the Amazing Rudy episode of Bob's Burgers from earlier this season? It's the one that focuses Rudy and his divorced parents. I thought it seemed fitting to ask since you just reviewed Mrs. Doubtfire today.
Yeah, I liked it because I think either you or somebody brought up before, what do you think of kind of these more serious episodes, that they're doing? And if they do it well, I don't mind. I agree they can get too many if they keep doing it, but I mean, it seems like they're still spacing it out and they're done well. And I don't know, as long as it feels genuine, and I think what they did with like Luis at the end of the episode and everything, like that felt right. It didn't feel like a forced emotional moment. It felt like something the character would do. So yeah, no, I liked it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. You once called the Big Bang Theory geek blackface. What do you consider jock blackface?
Oh, what a man. Uh, maybe I'd have to be a jock in order to really
Yeah.
answer that. I don't want to speak for the people. I feel like I've seen stuff where it's like I can tell a movie's trying to act really tough and gruff, but they have no idea how to portray it. But I'm blanking on it. Sometimes the Avatar movies do that, with the evil military and stuff like that. I know there's others, but I'm totally blanking on it.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I don't
most of
know.
the football movies are like made by people who actually really like football. So it's hard to like, something like The Blind Side isn't necessarily like not like jocks pretending to be jocks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I feel like there's a movie called Here on Earth that's like the worst romance I ever saw for a while. Might still be the worst. I don't know. Twilight was pretty bad, but and I remember the guy in there was supposed to be like the jock, and that's another one where what's his name from Pearl Harbor and everything? I just talked about him.
Chat?
We just talked about it. He's always third wheel. Josh Hartnett.
Got it.
He's third wheel on that too. And like Chris Klein is supposed to be the jock in it, and it's just like again, he's trying to talk like how jocks talk, and it's just like, what the hell are you talking about? Kind of thing. So yeah, that was pretty bad.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Excuse me for going X-rated, guys, but what's your favorite comedy nude scene of all time? I always go Jason Segel and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
The first one that comes to mind, from judge that however you want, is in Sideways, the guy running out towards the car. And I love that scene because you legit don't know if this scene is gonna go serious, like is someone gonna like get hurt or even die in this scene, or is it gonna be a comedic moment? And when you see that guy running towards the car with that flopping around, it is just such a release of laughter. It's like, oh, this is a funny moment. Okay. And that scene's so funny.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Fun fact, in Coming to America, Arsenia's Reverend character introduces Randy Weston by referencing a show called That's My Mama. That's a real show.
Is it really? Oh my God. I have to find this show.
And Newt, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on The Ghost and Molly McGee, and are you considering doing it for Disney December next year if it's ended by then?
That's another one where if you show it to me, I would recognize what it is, but I don't know anything about it outside of the look of it. I think I heard it's good. It seems to have like a good following and fan base and stuff. Maybe I'll check it out if it wraps up in a decent amount of time.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Idea for the next Channel Awesome Twitch competition quiz. We're given a foreign translation of an American movie title and have to guess what the movie is. That's brilliant.
Pretty fun.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm gonna write that down. Really
Write that down.
quick.
That's pretty good.
That's a good one. Abnormal Gamer, thank you for the 100 bits. Question for Heather: besides Rachel, have you met Doug's other old friends, Lindsay Ellis, Brental Floss, Linkara, etc.? Yes and no, because I didn't really pop into Channel Awesome full time. Well, I mean, not even full time, but like as an actor until like 2016, 2017. And by that time, like we weren't really doing the big anniversary movie kind of things anymore. But I did meet James and Andre, and like I have met some of those old people, but old people, I shouldn't say old people.
I was gonna say
old
that's
school,
Man,
like
not the best
Channel
term.
Awesome. Yes, I was trying to go for old school and just said old. I haven't met a ton just because we weren't really doing anniversary movies then. We were doing the clipless reviews, Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. How about a point redemption where you answer the next question as James Bond? Heather, you can be Miss Moneypenny. I always hesitate to do things like that because then I'm going to have to turn it off after every single stream because not everyone is going to do a James Bond point redemption for every single stream. It's also really difficult in an environment like this to have to force us to do something like that when we're just trying to get some questions out as fast as possible. You know what I mean? So I think it would just take away from the questions.
Also, I hate to say it sometimes with the brain fog, it is hard just to go back and forth between that and have like any I might actually forget who I am for a second. I get too in character, but no, it's just the brain fog.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Who are the people watching Les Mis with you in the hotel in your Les Mis review?
That's Paul. I was gonna say Paul Schaefer. That's not it. Paul is what he went by back then. Maybe he still does. And Owen Citizen, I think Kyle something. I'm blanking on the name. And then Brental Floss is the other guy in that. Yeah, so that's who they are.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Moon Garden?
Moon Garden. I don't know if I know that one.
I don't know that one.
I will have to look that up. Let me just make sure I'm not. Yeah, no, I never even. Moon Garden also is apparently the name of a flower. It looks cool. I'll try and check this out. Looks pretty awesome. The poster looks really neat.
And Newt, thank you for the 100 bits. For a documentary, I'd recommend something like Walking with Dinosaurs, i.e. something done in the style of a documentary, but about prehistoric creatures done with CG animation. I'm talking about the original BBC series, not the crappy Universal film from 2013.
I was gonna say, I think I remember there was a bad movie, I think, made on that. I didn't know it was based on a series though. So maybe I'll look into it.
Captain John, thank you for the 100 bits. It's their last bits, so they have 3 questions, so we're just going to rapid fire them. Do you think you could do a James Bond month where you go over maybe the Daniel Craig films or any Bond film of your choice?
I'm not the guy to do it. I like them fine, but someone like Brad Jones, Emma Snob, he does them better than I do, I think. He has a real love for him.
Do you have a Letterboxd account, and have you considered making one?
A Letterboxd account? No.
And I had an idea for a Disney fanscription. What if Ariel found the magic lamp and met the genie?
That'd be fun. Or even the female genie from the show. That'd be kind of cool too. I'll pass that on to Walter.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you for reviewing my favorite comedy of all time today. I think a bit of silliness can make dramatic scenes a bit more. The best example is the closing monologue. There are so many layers to that speech. He's talking to the audience of the show, secretly to his kids, his wife, and to himself, all while dressed as an old lady. It's a great and powerful scene.
Yeah, I agree. Again, when I was growing up, divorce, I knew what it was, but it wasn't that common. And I think that's the first movie where it was really kind of especially to a family environment, being yeah, this is, I don't want to say it's the new norm, but it's one of those things, it's a lot more common, now than it was, kind of in the past. And I thought that was a really good way of sort of talking about and feeling things will be all right kind of thing. I don't know. That's that imagery and that verbiage I still kind of think of when I think of somebody splitting up, but it's going to be okay kind of thing.
Ricardo Rios, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, guys from Virginia. Now that the Mrs. Doubtfire review is on, there was supposed to be a sequel that was announced in 2014, but was canceled after Robin Williams' passing.
Yeah, I heard about that. I remember they were... I think I even did a funny picture on it back then when I did those more on Facebook. But yeah, no, I remember hearing about that.
Ricardo Rios, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Urkel Christmas animated film trailer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. How the hell am I supposed to react to that? It just
question.
looks a little, I don't know. That looks like a tax write-off, right? That
Yeah.
The Batman Christmas one, these look like ones that were made to be tax write-offs, and then they just forgot to cancel them.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Ang Lee's The Ice Storm? Also, who do you think gives the best performance in it?
Oh, it's great. And it's funny because I saw the movie first and then the book, and they are very, very different.
Oh.
And the book is better, but it's just an entirely different tone throughout the whole thing, which is really fascinating. But best performance? I don't know. I guess Richie was pretty good at it, I don't know. Everyone's really solid in it.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. Pollyanna for Disneycember.
I don't think anyone would watch it. Honestly, I've seen it. It's a good movie. It's definitely a solid flick. But if it's one I know nobody's gonna watch, it has to be something I really want to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the cult classic The Burbs, starring Tom Hanks.
I like it. I don't think I can add much to it. I think it's all just pretty straightforward for what it is.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. I don't get why you're giving about the restaurant scene. It's the funniest in the movie. By the way, Pierce Brosnan admitted that Robin successfully made him laugh when they were filming the Heimlich maneuver. Williams said, "Oh, woof, woof," while performing the action.
Oh, okay. All right, that's funny. No, it's fine. It's just very sitcom-y and farce-y and stuff like that. Like you could see it's being a little corny, but they still do it fine. It's I don't know. It feels more like an homage to those silly sitcom-y moments than like something that's not doing it well. It does it well.
Master Tiebreaker, thank you for the 300 bits. Hey Doug, it took a while for the stars to align, but I wanted to inform you about my experience with Hocus Pocus. I had a weird start with a 10-minute integrated commercial for the Clark bar from the movie, but once it started, I was instantly hooked. The story was engaging, the acting was enjoyably campy. The witches were so fun that I instantly believed they were siblings. Overall, I had a bunch of laughs with my friends and thought it was great. Sorry for the long message.
Oh, all good. Yeah, no, you're not alone. A lot of people really love that movie. It's grown on me a little bit. I really like those actresses a lot. They have great chemistry together, and I like the Halloween atmosphere. But that's about it.
Ulrich, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you ever review the 1997 Disney movies Rocket Man?
Yeah, I want to because I like that guy. That guy's really funny, but I've never actually seen the movie. So I always put it on the list, and then I always knock it off because I don't know, other stuff builds up, and I'm always like, I gotta see this movie because I always forget his name, but he's usually very, very funny.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Good Morning Vietnam?
That's another one of those I think I've seen in bits and pieces, but I've never seen like in order. You know what I mean? I gotta see it in order because it is one of those where I'm like, I don't like that kind of star, that formula, that Robin Williams formula, where he just let him entertain, just let him dream, kind of thing. That Poet Society formula that I never really got into. But I should sit down and watch the whole thing because maybe together it works.
Crazy Avocado Productions, thank you for that subscription. Welcome, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Master Tiebreaker, thank you for the 100 bits. I saw the Garfield trailer and I gotta say, Chris Pratt's voice doesn't do it for me. Bill Murray may have regretted Garfield, but his voice just fit him so well.
Oh yeah, and who would have thought between those two voices he would do Mario better?
Right.
Than Garfield. I really thought it'd be the other way around. Yeah, it's not awful or anything, but you're right. It's just it's nothing. It's just a whole bunch of nothing, and that really is a character where so much is based on the personality and the voice and the line delivery. But who knows? Maybe we'll see it, and maybe they have a plan that we haven't figured out yet. But it's not looking like much.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. NC compilation for the Night at the Museum films.
Maybe. I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the other two. But I want to. I hear they're all right. So I'll try to check them out.
Crazy Avocado Productions, thank you for the 100 bits. Thanks so much for all of your reviews, Doug. You are a huge part of my literal childhood. Also, what are your thoughts on Watership Down?
Oh, I love it. I mean, that's designed for me to love, man. Yeah, like, oh, you think it's a cute little story about bunnies, and then there's just like genocide and blood and like, all sorts of things getting ripped off. And I mean, it's just so violent, but it's a good story. I especially like the God, I'm gonna sound like Five Nights at Freddy's. The lore. I like the backstory they give. That sort of like the mythology of like where they came from and everything. That I don't know. It weirdly has good world building.
Mm-hmm. Ricardo Rios, thank you for the 101 bits. Was there any way the Mrs. Doubtfire could have worked?
I mean, I feel like it did work. I hope you didn't get the wrong impression. I think it worked. I think it's a good movie.
No, I think maybe they mean like the Mrs. Doubtfire like plan. You know what I mean? To like.
Oh,
but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe like at some point he was gonna reveal it was really him, like slowly, like after he was like granted custody again or something like that, or share custody. That's the only thing I could think. It is a weird plot.
Yeah, it's a wild premise.
Yeah, and that's where the acting and good directing comes in to make you buy it, because it is a pretty ridiculous plot.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, sorry, they're quotes. We'll get to that one in a second. They are clarifying. They meant the sequel for Mrs. Doubtfire that was canceled.
Oh, I didn't see it, but again, we were talking about how the plot of the original seemed so ridiculous and they made it work. So I guess anything's possible.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Magnolia in 1999? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I love it, and I love it because I didn't fully follow it the first time, but I was so engaged and fascinated and so wrapped up in it. Yeah, no, I still really really love that movie.
On a Joker, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Fritz the Cat?
I like it. It was not what I expected when I first saw it because I did grow up with like the Bakshi, Lord of the Rings, and Wizards and American Pie. So when I saw Fritz, it threw me off. It wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be. But when I opened up to it, yeah, I really really liked it.
And we have some time for some highlighted. Let's go. Sean 49 Doctor says, "Hey Doug, in case I don't get a chance Friday, happy 42nd. Don't panic and always know where your towel is."
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. I was just like, yeah, I got to make a joke about that when that finally happens.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever seen the movie Come and See 1985? I suggested this a while back, but it's absolutely incredible. Genuinely the saddest and most realistic World War II movie ever made.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but you might have recommended it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You were talking about
They
that.
did.
Yeah. It is one of those where I'm like, I believe you. Man, does it look tough to get through? I'll have to see. Yeah, just like at the imagery, it's just like, whew.
Dino Man says, "Have you seen World War Z? Guess what started the zombie apocalypse? Rabies."
No, it didn't look like much to me, and that's kind of what people said. They're just like, yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just another one of these zombie movies,
Cartoon Dictator says, "Favorite DuckTales 2017 character? Mine's was both Webby and Lena, and have you seen Craig of the Creek?"
No, that's another one. I know what it is, but I don't. I've never seen an episode or like really know what it's about or anything. I don't know, maybe Glumgold or no, not Daisy. What the hell's her name? Della. I really liked it.
Master Mario says, "You're almost 42, so I have a joke. What do you call a device that an old Doug needs to use to get around?"
Do tell.
Doug's walker.
Okay. Okay. I should get used to the dad jokes. What am I talking about? Like I haven't made a whole living doing dad jokes.
Right. Ramirez says, "Question to everybody, Space Jam or Back in Action? Happy early birthday, Doug." I mean, it's the original Space Jam for me, but I was the perfect nostalgic age for that, so,
Yeah, see, it's Back in Action for me. Both are shameless in their advertising, and I have a weird respect for that. And they are both very much of their time, which I also, in a weird way, have a respect for. But I don't know. The second one just got more laughs out of me, and I thought was a little bit more creative. But if anyone's ever like, these are soulless commercials, I mean, you're right, but they're very, they are kind of entertaining for what time capsules they are.
Power Gamer asks, "Who's the funniest Disney villain? James Wood as Hades or Eartha Kitt as Yzma?"
Oh, it's James Woods. Though Kid is great, and so is Warburton. But yeah, no, by far it's Woods.
Dino Man says, "Thoughts on the Coyote versus Acme canceled and brought back? Personally, really feels like an anti-animation move, especially saying it's not theatrically."
I mean, are you kidding? Haven't you seen Urkel Saves Santa or Batman Christmas? I don't know. Those are still really on my mind clearly because I'm bringing them up so much. Those just so look like movies that are made for tax write-offs and were supposed to be canceled. I mean, I want to see it. I want to see that. I hope they do the same thing for Batgirl, honestly, because I'd like to see that too.
Right, for sure. I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen with this congressman bringing it up as an issue, because that's interesting to me.
And just the fact that one is doing it at all is like really fascinating. That they're just like,
I think it makes sense them saying comparing it to burning down your house for the insurance money. Like it makes sense. That's what they're doing.
Maybe that's it too. Maybe they're just like, hey, why are we paying for that? Why are we giving you the tax right? Yeah, okay, that does make sense. Because that's always the thing. I'm like, a congressperson doesn't go into something because it's for the good of the world. No, they're going in if it's going to affect them, kind of thing. And they're just like, why are we paying for this shit? That I can see.
Abnormal Gamer says, will we ever see another crossover with James, Brad, Chris, and Joe?
I will say, and nothing's planned. It's one of those things where I've kind of done so many, I feel like I only want to do it. If it's like, I always call it a Phantom Strider situation where it's like, I literally can't do it without this person kind of thing. It wouldn't make sense to do it without this person because I know what SpongeBob is, but I'm not an expert now where he's like an expert kind of thing. So it'd have to be something like that where it's like, no, I at least that's my thought now. Who knows? Next week I'd just be like, I just watched something with James. Let's go. So who knows?
Days of the Now says, the Three Ninjas Complete Collection is coming to Blu-ray. Any chance of covering the rest of the series?
I mean, I guess I never have seen them. I just assumed I wasn't missing much, but maybe I am. Maybe I'm missing the greatest trilogy of all time. I'm not sure.
Lewis Friend says, Ayo, Doug, how come Malcolm and Tamara aren't in your reviews as often as they used to be?
Because they would literally get canceled because the fatigue would hit me. That's what in the Thinner review, I had a whole bit written out literally the day of. I couldn't stand. I had so much fatigue, and I also had like the brain fog. I couldn't focus. I couldn't do anything. I'm like, I'm sorry, we got to cancel the shoot. So that's literally the reason. That's why at the end I rewrote the ending to have me say, I thought Nostalgia Week was going to be a bigger thing. I had the whole shingles thing, like kind of saying that's why kind of thing. So even the stuff I'm writing now, I'm writing a lot shorter because like the last shoot we did, I had it really bad and I was just kind of half awake getting through all of it. I was struggling to direct and everything. And I'm just like, so I'm trying to keep them short just in case it hits me, man. I hate living with it, but hopefully there's not too much longer to go with it.
Ramirez asks, favorite movie with Robin Williams?
Man, I'd have to look at like a list of movies. I'm trying to think of like one of my favorite performances of his was Insomnia. I thought he was really, really good in that. It's a pretty good movie. It might be that, actually, the more I think about it. I'm a sucker for Good Will Hunting. I was the perfect age when I saw that. And I really dig that a lot.
Perfect. And that brings us to 8 o'clock. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. We're very glad that we could have Doug in the flesh, back in action. Hopefully,
let's hope it lasts till Friday.
Yeah, hopefully it lasts till Friday. We do have content here 5 days a week, so please come on back. Tamara will be here tomorrow. Friday, we have Malcolm and Doug in the afternoon and the evening. Then I'll be on Monday night, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So come back, hang out with us. We always appreciate seeing you all here. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we will see you all later. Bye.